Hey everybody, how's it going? Happy last week of March. Today we're going to be looking at three different pairs, but before we get started, quick risk disclaimer. So foreign exchange trading carries a high level of risk. Before you decide to trade foreign exchange, we encourage you to consider your investment objectives, your risk tolerance, and trading experience. It is possible to lose some or all of your initial investment, so don't invest money you can't afford to lose. Seek advice from an independent financial or tax advisor, and all information provided in this video is for educational purposes only and should not be construed as trading advice or counsel. So, as always, I like to take a look at the euro, take a quick glance at where it's at, where it's been, where it's going. And as you can see, the last week or so, we've had a pretty strong up move on pretty relatively small bars, which is good for an uptrend because uptrends last a while, and if you see big bars pushing up, that usually means that corrections are gonna happen eventually. So a couple things that I'll be looking at for the euro are, since there's not too much in terms of news this week, we have a couple speakers and a couple unemployment claims from the dollar and business climate from the euro pretty soon, actually, in about uh, five and a half hours. We should see some pretty range bound trading, I think, this week. Like I said in the last video, I think that we're at a point where people aren't really exactly sure where the euro is going to go. I think eventually that we will see a rotation up to the 200 simple moving average, but who knows how long that would take. We might have some corrections here. We might have some strong up push and strong down push. It's going to be a choppy week for the euro, and I think that you have to definitely quantify volatility in your trading. So tight stops, make sure you're not risking too much on any one given trade, and make sure to define your levels. So a couple levels that I'll be looking at off the bat for the euro are definitely the same levels that I looked at for a breakout yesterday. So like I said, when we started to close above previous highs here at 1.32445, and also the close of this bar at 1.32224, we had a pretty strong up move, and people will be looking to buy it coming off of these levels. The 100 moving average is also going to be important. That helps to define my bias, and since it's above it, we should be looking for more buyers in the market. And I think that we still have a while to run. The euro has been pushing up for a while, but we did see a correction, and the so-called dumb money will be looking for this as a push down. And I think that there is buying pressure for the euro, despite what everybody thinks or is saying. And there's the most money to be made when you're looking at levels that other people aren't looking at and doing things that not everybody else does. So one thing that also helps to confirm my bias is a close above this level here at 1.32786. We seeing a close above previous highs indicates buying for me, especially on light volume. This was a Sunday during Tokyo, I guess, and so we saw people buying this pair even though the money in London and the US hasn't really come into play yet. So those are just a couple levels for the euro I'll be looking at. Just to piggyback off of that, I also want to take a look at the Swiss. Like I said in the last video, we've been in a pretty defined range here. I think that we will be in a pretty defined range for the next week. This is a big range, by the way. These are levels. This is 200 pips, so these are levels that are pretty far away. So placing your bets to move to one of these is a good bet. And so right now my bias is down for the Swiss. We started to close below lows. This one at 0.90829. And so I think a rotation down for the Swiss is definitely in the cards. A couple levels on the hourly charts, just a little bit, look a little bit more short term. I do like a small correction here, and if we do start to see a correction, I might be looking to buy around 0.909 just to make the price a little bit cheaper. And so those are a couple levels I'll be looking at for the Swiss. The last one I wanted to take a look at is the yen. We had a extremely large and strong push from the yen. And a couple things when I like to see in a uptrend is small bars, because uptrends, one quote that always is pervasive to me in trading is uptrends last longer than you think and downtrends fall faster than you think. So small bars and uptrends is pretty important because people don't look to take on risk as much as they look to take off risk. So if we are in an uptrend, smaller bars with smaller corrections is usually the name of the game. So when I look at the yen, I see large bars and I see them pushing up very fast. I think for a pair that has been in a downtrend for as long as the yen has, this is bad news for people who think that the yen is going to go up and up and up. Because it's not good to place your bets on lower probability plays. So if everybody's trying to pick bottoms here in the yen, they're getting killed each time. So as you can see, strong up pushes have been followed by strong down pushes. So I don't like to take bets that in the past have gone against me, and I'm pretty sure nobody would. I don't like to put a lot of money on trades that are against the trend, and I like to follow the big investors. So personally, for me, the yen is still in a downtrend, and I won't look to change that bias for a good while until we start to close above very strong levels. So the reason that I like this pair is because it seems to be in a smooth downtrend for now. This is very wave-like, it's very cyclical, and I think that the yen in the next couple weeks or so should see a correction to the downside. We already had a pretty strong down move here, so if this is just a correction and we do start to push back up towards the highs here, this bar closed at 0.83828. Oh, sorry, 83.828. And so those are just a couple things that I'll be looking at. If we do start to close back up here, then rotation toward the upside is possible, but I think that it'll be pretty well capped. So a couple levels I'll be looking at to define my risk are definitely the 200 and 100. The 200 is now slipping down, and the 100 has been for a couple days now, so those help to confirm my bias. And if we do start to close above the 200 and 100, also prices, this is going to be huge. You see a lot of resistance here. This level at 83.451 is going to be very large. That's pretty far move away. That's 70 pips. So if we do start to see a retest back up to those levels, I'll probably be looking to put in a sell order, and then if we close above them, then I'll look to take those off. So the yen trade is something that I definitely like this week, and if you guys are willing to kind of go against the trend of what the most people are thinking right now, then it is possible to make a lot of money in this pair. So those are the three that I wanted to take a look at today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great week. I hope that your trading goes well, and again, thanks for watching, and good luck in the markets out there.